name's Alyssa J. Dillon. If you guys don't know me, now you do. Anyone here new to the crew? Like to see new faces? If this is your first time tuning in, jumping on to one of our live streams with us, I want to thank you for joining us. I hope that you enjoy the content that I am about to deliver. And if you don't enjoy it, no big deal. No, it doesn't matter. It's okay. There's other people for you. It's okay. Find a new mentor. Not a big deal, right? There's somebody for everybody. I hope I'm for you, but I can't be everyone's cup of coffee, right? Today we're drinking some peppermint spice latte from the Dunkin' Donuts. It's the perfect parameters. Drive right around the corner from my house, get Dunkin' Donuts, drive right to my office. It's about 1 mile away. I'm going to share my screen. We're going to jump into the training today. Share. Minimize. 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 Oh my gosh. I can't find what I'm looking for, of course. All right, let's do this. I'm going to stop sharing this until I find what I'm looking for. I don't want to share any of my dirty pics with you guys, any of my nudes. I'm just kidding. The nudes aren't here. They're in all the other places. I'm just messing with you guys. Why don't you guys share some wins with me? What's everybody winning about this week? You guys got any new clients? How's everybody doing? I got some wins to share. I'll share some wins. We are officially scaling up our 7 Magic post funnel. Got a new ice cream shop. Awesome. Tiffany Ware says, darn, she was really hoping to see some of my nudes. I meant my noodles, my macaroni and cheese. Just kidding. Holy cow. I wrote a whole document for this today and I cannot find it. There it is. I found it. Okay, here we go. I'm like, I wrote a whole document for this and I can't find it, you guys. Just sent an engagement for $2,100 a month. Nice job, Laura Jacobs. Laura is Laura's in our mastermind, our moneymaker mastermind. Laura just joined. Congrats, Laura. Let's see. Lisa, I just started a Facebook group 2 months ago and loving it. Been getting so many new clients from it. That's amazing. Caitlin says, my son survived. I could have lost him, but he is here. That's amazing, Caitlin. As Caitlin shared the story, her son fell down the stairs recently. And I'm just thinking about you, my dear. And I shared a story this morning with Caitlin. I sent her some messages. That's the biggest win. I mean, money's cool, but more than anything, man, those kiddos are worth more than anything else. Okay. So love all the wins. Danny is somebody that's in our boot camp. Danny is one of our winners from our boot camp, our 30-day Moneymaker boot camp. One of our other programs. Danny says, I sent out my first big proposal for $8,000. He ghosted me for a few days and then today responded with a question. Hasn't signed it yet, but I do have faith. Love that. Okay. So let's look at this. All right. So you guys see this document I got here for you? You guys see this? Hey. All right, so today what we're going to talk about is we're going to talk about your $1 million Facebook group. And I'm sharing a little picture here, $1 million Facebook group, a masterclass, $0 to $2 million since 2019 with Facebook groups. And that's me with some of my my dudes there. Landon, Jaden, Stapes, and Justin getting my $1 million group award. I made $1 million, collected $1 million in about 8 months. This actually happened a long time ago, but I didn't get to receive my award. So I finally got to receive my award on stage, even though this happened quite a while ago. They finally were able to give me my award. I actually went to their event. I spoke on their stage and gave a presentation on how to attract higher ticket clients. And they presented me with an award right after I spoke on their stage for achieving a $1 million Facebook group, even though this happened quite a while ago. I received this award. It's been in my office now for probably like 7-8 months. But they finally gave me my award. I got to get it on stage a couple months ago. So this is just a little dummy award that they gave me, but pretty cool, right? So I want to start this out with having a big reality check for you all, right? Big reality check. My Stripe account currently has 1.7 million cash collected. And obviously I talked about the fact that we've done over 2 million. So that obviously doesn't include the PayPal, ACH, and other checks. We even have received a bunch of money through Gusto. We have people who've paid us using Gusto because it was a nice way to collect money from people who are paying us a lot of money. And we avoid all those like vendor fees or ACH fees. So they'll pay us through Gusto. That's a nice way of doing it. If you have high ticket subcontractors that are paying you a lot of money, sometimes it's nice to just have them do it through Gusto, because it's like, I'll pay us through Gusto, and that way we don't have to pay all the fees, like a 3% fee. So and this doesn't actually include the successful accounting business that I owned previously to 2019, right? And so I am saying this out loud to you guys right now. Why am I saying that out loud? Why is this a big reality check for you? Because I'm just like you. I am a very normal human. I live in a small town. It's called Ransomville. I like to refer to it as Ransomtucky. I didn't have internet until 2021. That is right. I did not have internet until 2021, friends. And so anyone who is going to say, yeah, but I live in a small town, Alyssa. Yeah, but I don't have internet, Alyssa. Yeah, but Alyssa. Yeah, but listen, every single excuse you give me, I promise you I have one too. Did I just let any of that discourage me from getting myself to where I am today? No, I didn't. Any successful person that you come across, that you come in connection with, we all have reasons as to why we shouldn't be where we are today, but we use it, we leverage it. We allow that to be our fuel, our fire, our energy to do it anyways, right? And so I'm bringing this before you and saying this to say, check your excuses at the door, friends. I live on the side of a lake right next to Canada, right? I don't have a lot of people around me. I didn't even have internet. I didn't even have cell phone service, right? So some of you have big goals, just like the goals I have, but you are afraid to take action. You're afraid to move past your fears. You're afraid to take the imperfect action. What will someone else think of you? What will happen if? But I need you to flip this and say, what will happen if I don't? Where will I stay if I don't? No one is coming to save you. And so I want to talk about early adoption. I adopted Facebook groups early. I realized that. I decided in 2019, I want to talk about this. A lot of people are like, oh, well, when did you start your Facebook group? In 2019, I was considered a pretty early adopter, right? That was like Facebook groups were just on the rise. That was an early adoption. Does that mean it's too late for you? Absolutely not. Facebook groups are still being highly prioritized. So I absolutely would. We're going to write some notes as we go. Groups are still being highly prioritized. Algorithms are favoring them over business pages, right? So absolutely, especially if you do not want to use a personal page for visibility, right? So don't be afraid of taking action. Don't be afraid of deciding to do something for yourself and being an early adopter of something. And that's what I did with Facebook groups. So I would be remiss if I didn't point out some of the problems with Facebook groups, right? Before I get into why they are effective, I want to make it perfectly clear that there are some problems with Facebook groups. I don't want you to think that it's all sunshine and rainbows over here. Number one, first problem with Facebook groups. I didn't want this to be. First problem becomes a two-step process. What do I mean by that? You're now going to have to drive traffic into said group, right? You make a group, you're going to have to drive traffic into it, right? Create a group. It's like, oh my gosh, now people need to be there. They're going to want to, you'd want people to show up for it, right? It's like, how do I grow the group? So you're going to have to grow it. That's the first problem, right? So this two-step process becomes that you have two sets of content to create, right? It's two sets of nurture sequences. You have to create content for the outside of the group to show people where they should go, right? To point them in the right direction. Say, hey, go to my group. And then you have the content within the group that says, here is the valuable content. I'm going to say, here is the valuable content that I promised, right? Becomes two sets. For those of you who have opted in for our 7 magic posts, or you've opted in for our 30-day moneymaker boot camp, this becomes relatively easy because you can use the anticipation posts. You can use the replay posts. There's specific posts that all you really need to do is doctor them and say, hey, if you want to come and see this thing, you just have to go inside the group, right? So it's just a matter of tweaking a couple words, right? Just an adjustment of a few words. And this is what we do as well. If you don't have our 7 magic posts, you just go to 7magicposts.com, www.7magicposts.com. I highly suggest taking our upsells and order bumps to get the most out of the offer as well. To raise your accounting rates and the 30-day boot camp. Probably shouldn't be telling you to do that right now because we're testing our full traffic, but we'll pretend that I didn't tell you. Allie's probably screaming at me, saying, what are you doing? We're testing our full traffic. You're not supposed to tell them to do that. Sorry, Allie. Don't tell Bailey. We'll just pretend it never happened. Everybody keep it a secret that I told you to go there. Okay. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, some high-level strategy right now, because we're running high-level ads, we're running traffic to our 7 magic post strategy. We're testing our cold traffic strategies So that means we don't want warm traffic opting in for these things, basically because it's going to throw off our numbers. Oops. We can tell them that I accidentally mentioned it on a live that I forgot. Okay. So is this really a problem though? Right? Is this really a problem? Does it become a two-step process? Sure. What's a bigger problem though? What's a bigger problem, friends? I don't know, being broke, not having money, not affording your bills, right? Not being able to throw the birthday party that you want for your children, not having to going to the grocery store and being stressed that your card's going to be declined. Who's been there? I have. Me. I literally remember, I'll never forget going into Wegmans. Shout out to Wegmans for us New Yorkers. Well, Wegmans is more than in New York. I get it. Going into Wegmans and thinking, God, I hope my card doesn't get declined today. I never ever want to feel those feelings again. Right. And so that's more stressful than having to place 2 pieces of content to me. That's way more stressful than having to grow a group. Right. And so can we solve these problems? Absolutely. Are there easy ways of solving these problems? Yes. Can I show you how? Yes. Do I have a strategy to do that? You know I do. That's why we're here, right? So we'll talk about that strategy in a second. We're going to talk about why are they so effective? Let's talk about why are groups so effective. Number 1, instant authority is created. You just became the instant host. You are the guest of honor, not the guest of honor. You're the host of honor. The party is about you, right? Everybody's walking into your party. These are your appetizers. This is your music, right? You picked out everything the way you wanted it to be. Everyone's here for you. This is instant authority. 300 people just came in the room and they're there for you, no one else. It's your room. You get to choose. You don't want somebody at your party, they can leave. Real easy. You kick them right out. We do it all the time, right? Somebody comes in, they want to spam your group. They want to try to take your party over. They're crying. They're trying to sell people their whatever the heck it is. You just kick them out. You say, you can't be at my party, right? You get to set the tone. Make sense? You elevate yourself as the go-to. You're the go-to person, right? So this can effectively be done as everyone just tags you, right? Like, hey, I'm here because I need help with. And everybody's like, oh, well, this person's the person that's going to be able to help you in this group because it's their group. They're the person, right? You don't come into my group and say, like, I'm really looking how to raise my rates in this group. And somebody's like, oh, you should talk to this other person. Everybody's like, no, this is Alyssa's group. You should talk to Alyssa and Alyssa's team. Alyssa and Alyssa's team can help you. And guess what? Everyone's there for me. So everyone rallies around me and my offers, right? And that's what they're going to do for you. Everyone who's in there wants to be there. How crazy is that, right? Everyone's who's there, they want to be there. Nobody comes to the party and doesn't stay that doesn't want to be there. If they don't want to be there, they just leave. That's incredible. It's the greatest thing. Because the really amazing part about Facebook groups is when somebody's like, this person isn't for me, they can just simply hit leave group. It's the coolest. right? So you know exactly who your leads are. Instant lead tracking system. The people that are in this community are really my leads because they want to be in my community. They want to be part of my party. They actually are here to consume and be part of the value that I'm creating. And so that means they have raised their hand that they have an actual problem that I solve. Right? So this is your instant lead tracking system. Automatically, you have your first lead magnet. How does this become your first lead magnet? Let's talk about this. I'm going to move this one down. Let's talk about this. How does this become your first lead magnet? Number one, you say, if you would like to join a community where I am consistently giving value and doing weekly live trainings to show you how to do X, where you will learn X, where you can get X, please join this community. Guess who's going to join? People who want that thing. First lead magnet. Right? First lead magnet, friends. And so they join. These people now have raised their hand. They say, oh, I need those things. I want help with those things. Right? And so they join your group. And now they're in there. And so you've cultivated the first people. Those first people, maybe you already have a group, right? And so those people are warm people. They're saying, I have these problems. I need this support. And so I want you guys to be strategic in this and say, we're going for quality, not quantity, right? We're looking for people to raise their hands for specific results. We're looking for specific people. And so what does that mean? That means we need to make sure, I shared yesterday with my mastermind group how to name their group. And I'm going to share the same exact method with you. I'm not going to go into as much detail because that would be unfair to them, but I'm going to share the same formula I gave them yesterday, same formula or framework. How do you name your group to make sure you're only getting the people you want? It is the result you provide plus the specific niche or audience you work with equals your Facebook group name. Right? So what are some examples of this? I gave them rev up your revenue engine for mechanics. I have obviously where financial pros become CEO, right? The result you provide plus specific niche audience you work with. Make sure, what is this? Rev up revenue engine, right? And I'm using some of the language that my specific audience would resonate with, right? That sounds like them, that they would it would sound fun. But here's the thing, we also want to make sure that we're being clear, not just clever, right? This is a little clever, but it's still clear. We're still using revenue. Does this make sense? So I'm going to lean into this again. I'm going to say it loud and clear. We're looking for quality, not quantity. We want to make sure the group quality of people, we don't have a goal to have the largest group. We have a goal to have the most quality people in our group, people who are true ideal clients. A lot of people, I've had somebody actually make an assumption, come to me and say, well, I saw your group. I'm assuming you're making about the same amount of money as me. And I said, what does that mean? I don't know how much money you're making. And they're like, well, we're probably doing about 300K a year. And I was like, interesting. Why would you make an assumption that I was doing about 300K a year? And they're like, well, your group, you only have about 5,000 people. I think at the time it was like 4,000 people. And I was like, oh, well, assuming would make you wrong then. Like, we're not doing 300K a year. We haven't done 300K a year since 2019. And they're like, oh, wow, how is that possible with only 4,000 people in your group? It's like, I don't know. I guess we just have really high quality people in our community because we don't just have anyone. We only have the people that are of quality, that want to be in our community, that we think are good. We don't just have everyone, right? We're really good at making sure that we've cultivated a community that is high quality, right? It's not just quantity for us. It's not just bringing in anybody who's anyone. We're not looking for warm bodies, friends. Right? We're looking for people who we can actually make an impact on. So, is this helpful so far? Is anybody getting JC says, do you only post your lives in your group and use your personal page to direct people to go to your group for the live content? That is accurate. That is exactly what we do. Emily, the people in our mastermind should go to the content in our mastermind around GroupKit. I'm not going to go into that on this call because it's a free call, but that's what they should do. Okay. So the next part of this is metrics, KPI, data. The other really great thing about groups is you have the ability to really get good metrics, KPI data. You could really track everything, right? So a great example of this, and I don't think that I'm going to keep them anonymous. I had some people reach out to me and they said, Alyssa, we were able to get, it was essentially like we were able to close, I'm going to just throw some numbers up, close 10 new clients in October and close, I think it was like 15 new clients in September, right? But in November, we closed one. And I was like, oh, and they have a Facebook group, right? And I was like, well, can you tell me how many new people came into your group in each of those months? And so they came back and they're like, okay, we had, I'll just put it here. In October, it was 90 new members. In September, it was, I think it was like 116 new members. In November, 20 new members. I said, well, November, you guys haven't had a lot of people join your group. And that's likely why you haven't closed a lot of new clients, right? Business is about data, friends. It is not emotional. We make decisions based on data. If you notice that something is different and that you are not closing the same amount of clients, that you are not booking the same amount of calls out of your Facebook group or off your personal page or whatever it is, it likely comes down to the lack of action inaction that you specifically are taking because either you got comfortable, you got lazy, right? You thought you didn't have to anymore, or maybe you just forgot. And so I asked this individual, I said, listen, why don't you tell me how many times in October and September you posted to drive traffic to your group in the previous months versus how many times in November you drove traffic to your group. And so they gave me that information. And I found out in the month of, I think it was October 24, it was 24 posts were made in an effort to grow the group. In the month of November, 5 were made. Right? And so it's never a coincidence if your business is losing steam, right? It's usually due to some sort of lack of efforts. What's great about a group is we can see and know if we're consistently growing the group, we should be able to consistently get new clients. And so what we look for, what you can look for is you can set goals of having, I want to grow my group every day by 5 new people, right? So what do I suggest? Let's talk about this. What time is it? 1:37? I gotta blow through some of this stuff quick. Let's talk about the 3 pillars of growing. I started talking about this already. I meant to be talking about this down here, so my bad. 3 pillars of cultivating a profitable and economically sustainable Facebook group. Number 1, consistent growth, right? We were just talking about that. We need to be growing the group consistently. Have a goal. How many people do you need to grow your group by every single day? What does that look like? What are ways of doing it, right? Number 1, using your personal page. Obviously, you need to have content, live trainings that are going to attract people and give them value on the inside of the community, right? So in the inside of the community, they need to feel like there's value in there for them to get in. So you can use your personal page to say like, hey, come on in, join this group, right? If you have the 7 magic post system, you should be able to use that to say, come to the inside. Use competitions or challenges. Say, hey, we're doing a challenge. You can invite people from your personal page, right? It's okay to invite people to your group. Don't let anyone tell you inviting people is bad. I invite people all the time. They accept. It's not a big deal. This is not, nobody's going to be mad. If they don't want to come, they'll decline it. I get invited to groups. Some of them are not a good fit. I hit decline. It's okay. I'm not like scathing angry. I don't like run to the hills and scream in profanities, right? It's not a big deal. You can invite people. If you think that they would be a good fit, you can invite people. right? So consistent growth. Another way, you do this organically, but also, friends, use paid traffic, right? This is something we do with our mastermind clients. Use a paid traffic, lead magnet, or simply a community ad. It's basically, hey, opt in to join our community. You can literally have an ad that says, join my community. You can do that. It doesn't need to be anything more than that. You can create a page that says, you should join this community to get these trainings. This can be very, very simple. On the back end of any lead magnet, even mine, my lead magnets, friends, all say, step 1, join our community. That is your first step. If you've joined anything of mine, that is our first step. 7 magic posts. Hey, congratulations. You got this offer. Step 1, join the community, right? It's the first thing we ask you to do. Why? It's where we nurture you the most. It's where we're building the relationship with you the most. It's where we put most of our content, right? It's where I know I'm the best at cultivating a community with you. So, nurture sequence. This is sharing your knowledge, expertise, storytelling, right? Social proof, right? If you're getting people results, this is where you need to be sharing this, right? Let people know consistently and frequently how you are making an impact and changing lives, right? My client, Wendy, uses a Facebook group. She's going to do I think she told me $256,000 in her first year of business. She only has high ticket clients. She has no low ticket clients. She is not from Montana, even though I've said that to you guys 8,000 times. She has 5 kids. She offers CFO services. She uses a Facebook group to get all of them. The reason she uses a Facebook group is because she didn't want to use her personal page. So I taught her Facebook group strategy, right? So she started inviting people into her Facebook group. She brought people in using organic strategies. She hasn't even touched ads yet. And she's still been able to do all of this and make $250,000 a year in her first year as a business owner. Okay. So, nurture sequence. This can all be found with our 7 magic post strategy. Again, www.7magicpost.com. Okay. Client acquisition system. Next part of this is, that's great. We want to let people know how we can help them, right? We want to make sure that we're giving proof that we're supporting people. We want to share expertise. We want to share our stories. We want to make sure, here's the thing about nurturing is more and more people are seeing the value of creating content every day. And 3 to 5 years ago, anyone could make money online. It was very easy. It was very easy. You did not even have to be good. You could be, quite frankly, very terrible at what you did and made money online. If you're just joining the online marketing space, I'm sorry, y'all missed the boat. You missed it. You could be so crappy at what you did. You could just be a box of rocks and you could still make money online because nobody cared. We were just passing money across to everybody. Didn't care, didn't matter what you did. It's not the same anymore. Why? Because we all smartened up. We all got a little smarter. We stopped handing money to people who couldn't get us results, right? We became a little more skeptical. And truthfully, this is a good thing because less and less people are going to get scammed, right? How many of you have been a little scammed by people in the past because you weren't as skeptical as you should have been, right? We've all been there. And so what happened in the past is that we were willing to pass money over without a lot of proof, without a lot of skepticism. We were just like, here, sure, you look good, right? So it was very easy to make money online. It's not as easy anymore. Now we're looking for people to prove to us that they know what the heck they're doing, right? And so it's your job to make it very clear that you know what you're doing, right? And that means you need to elevate yourself. You can't look like you know as much and put yourself at the same playing field as your ideal client. You can't give them the same information that they already know, right? You can't say, here's bookkeeper tip number 2. All of these people who are selling, I bought them, by the way. Oh my gosh, you guys, let me tell you something real quick. I got to go in a few minutes. I should be leaving right now, but I bought one of these packages because I was doing some market research. I bought one of these packages of hosts for bookkeepers and accountants, and I opted in for it, and it was like $29. And it was like bookkeeper tip number 2. And it was like, it's a graphic and they're god awful. They're just selling things online and it's great. It's fine. I shouldn't be talking shit. Honestly, I shouldn't. But at the end of the day, those things are not going to get you clients because I don't like my 5-year-old could create that content. Like my 5-year-old could have created it. And I was like, this is it. This is it. This is what they're giving people. Okay. All right. That's not going to get you clients. Bookkeeper tip number 3 of the week that says a bookkeeper can help you with categorizing transactions is not going to get you clients. It's not enough. Nobody's going to be like, wow, that's compelling. Sign me up for your $2,000 a month package. So my point is you need to elevate yourself in the market, right? You need to elevate yourself as somebody who truly understands what's going on with current events. You need to say, this is how I am making a change. This is how I am making an impact. Am I making this clear, guys? Am I nailing this home? Okay. All right. If you don't want to make your own posts, guess what? We do this for you with 30-Day Moneymaker Bootcamp and our Bootcamp Plus program. We have a subscription package, and it is not graphics that say bookkeeper tip number 3. It is full content that is elevated, that we have copywriters write. And I chief the copy. I make sure it's good. Okay. So let's go into the next thing. Client acquisition system. So we're going to nurture these people. Next, we want to make sure that they know how to work with us, right? We need to know. Thank you so much, Caroline. I love that. Yes. Oh, I'm sorry. Emily's on here. Emily said ads. Emily is one of our ads coaches in our mastermind as well, in our Moneymaker mastermind. I didn't see that part. There's another question up here. Oh, no, I got that. Okay. So, client acquisition system. Okay. So next part of this is okay, great. You're nurturing these people. Now we need to make sure they understand how to work with us, right? How frustrating is it? You guys, I made this mistake. I know this because I made this mistake where I used to just nurture. And people would reach out to me and they'd be like, hey, how can I hire you? I'd be like, what? And they're like, is there a way to work with you? Like, do I just book a call? And I'm like, what? Like they didn't even know what I did to work with me, right? And so if you ever get this, if you ever have people that are reaching out to you saying like, I don't know how to work with you, this means that you are nurturing the heck out of them, but you are not giving them a call to action, right? You're not saying this is how to take the next step, right? This is how to work with me. You need to do this frequently, all the time, right? All the time you should be doing this. And not just like once a month, not once every couple of weeks. You should do this all the time, every single week. There should be a way that says, hey, this is how you can work with us. And you'll notice even within this training, there's been light ways. I've said like 7 magic posts. This is in our boot camp. This is in this. And I talk about our offers because I want to make it crystal clear that we have ways that you can work with us, right? And I'm not like, buy it right now or you're going to die. You don't have to do that, but it's okay to talk about different ways of working with you while you're giving value, right? So there's other ways of doing this. You can do it through a promo sequence, right? Promo sequence is where you give people extras, right? You make it exclusive. You create FOMO, right? Fear of missing out. And you make this real, right? You want it to be real. You don't want it to be fake. What is the word I'm looking at? Ethical, right? You want it to be ethical. You don't make this like, buy this now or it's going to go away forever. And then it doesn't actually go away, right? You actually say like, you can get into this now and this is the only time it's going to be offered. And you make that the only time it's offered, right? That is really the only time it's offered. So you can do promo sequences, but also consistently letting people know this is how you can work with me. And even at the end of value posts, if you're creating some sort of value, you can say, if you want to take the next step, right? And so another way of doing this is by saying, hey, what should you guys do next, right? If you guys are like, I want to do something like this. I want to create a Facebook group. I want to learn how to create a Facebook group. I want to grow a group and I want to make $1 million growing a Facebook group, right? Or maybe you just want to make 6 figures growing a Facebook group. Maybe you want to make 500K growing a Facebook group, right? If that's any of you, your next step would be to schedule a call with us, right? You guys can do that because we can help you do that because we know how. We've done it ourselves and we're helping our clients do it every single day. So if you want to do that, if you are interested, all you need to do is you can comment on our post, you can message me. There are so many ways of doing that. You can talk to us and we can get you a link so you can schedule a call. We can talk to you about what it looks like to work with us. And we can see if you are qualified for our 100K guarantee. And yes, we do have a 100K guarantee for our Moneymaker Mastermind, where we teach people how to add at least minimum $100,000 to their businesses in our program. So do you guys have any additional questions before I let you go? Was this helpful? How can you sign up for bootcamp? We will be letting you know next week. If you wanted to sign up for bootcamp right now, actually wait till next week. Actually not next week. It'll be the week after. We're doing a boot camp for Black Friday. And so there will be a Black Friday special. So just wait until next week. Not next week, the week after. Thanksgiving is going to drop. Thanksgiving night. We're going to do a Black Friday special. Woo-hoo. It's so cold in here. I have my blankie. All right, but I do have to go. I have to go to my children's, did you hear how I said that? Children's. I have to go to parent teacher conferences. I thought my husband was coming to pick me up here and I don't know where he is. Oh, he's here. He says, here, I'm here. Let's roll. Okay. I gotta go right now. Mwah. Love you guys. Bye. Adios. Talk to you guys soon. It was so fun. Hope this was super helpful. Talk to y'all soon.